You said then it would be helpful, as in presumably helpful is good, is beneficial, is something you support. So are you saying then that ICE supports making it mandatory to comply with federal detainers?
No.
So it's helpful, but you don't support it?
Well, no, sir. I support what we have proposed and what we've been spending many hours on.
You just said it's, but you don't support it.
Clarity is always helpful, but cooperation and working with our state and local partners, something I've always done. I will continue to do it, and I'm committed to see it through with respect to these jurisdictions that haven't been working with us.
It is difficult to work in an administration where you're required to take a position where, although something would be, in your own words, helpful, you nonetheless don't support it. Let me shift to a different topic. In the year 2013, how many criminal illegal aliens did the Obama administration release?
In 2014, it was a little over 30,000.
How many murderers?
In that year, sir, I can't remember the number right now, but I know that we had the statistic that was said earlier, the 4-year period from 2010 to 2014, that there were 121 persons who committed crimes afterwards. But I can't provide you this exact number.
How many rapists?
I am not sure right now. I'd have to pull that number.
How many drunk drivers?
Same answer. I can certainly break that down for you. And in fact, I think we're working on that right now. It's been requested before.
Yesterday, how many murderers did the Obama administration release?
Now, Senator, I don't know the answer to that question, but I want the American people to understand our job and our mission, if I may. We don't release people willy-nilly. We release people pursuant to these statutes and regulations. There are only a limited number of crimes that we are required to detain people. It is mandatory. They're spelled out here very clearly, many of them related to drug distribution and conspiracies. With the rest of the people, as you know very well, Zabidas requires us to release some. I think that's a small percentage of the total. Also, the immigration courts have a 500,000 case backlog. They have the proceedings they go through. They will order release because many of these folks challenge their bond or their detention. But in the rest, and I think it's like 49% this past year, in the rest where ICE has discretion, where this statute has given us discretion, we have very well-trained, very well-experienced law enforcement officers who look at the entire case just like a magistrate judge or a federal judge does.
Ms. Saldana, I want to note that your testimony here, when I ask you how many criminals ICE released in 2013, you were off by a factor of 3. You said 30,000. The correct answer is 104,000. There were 68,000 criminals, criminal illegal aliens, that ICE declined to begin deportation proceedings against, despite the fact, as Senator Sessions observed, the federal law that you're holding up there says they shall be deported. The Obama administration refused to deport them. That's 68,000. In addition to that, there were 36,000 in deportation proceedings with criminal convictions that the Obama administration released. And I would note that among those were 193 murderers with homicide convictions, were 426 people with sexual assault convictions, were over 16,000 criminal illegal aliens with drunk driving convictions released by this administration because this administration refuses to follow the law.
Sir, those numbers, I'm looking straight at them. You asked me, I thought, about 2014. That is 30,558. And the good news is, at least that went down from 2013 when it was 36,007.
But you're omitting the 68,000 criminal illegal aliens that ICE did not begin deportation proceedings against at all. And you got to add both of those together. It's over 100,000.
And yes, sir, that's absolutely right. All done pursuant to this statute that the Congress has outlined.
Now, Ms. Saldana, you heard the testimony from the victims' families. I've introduced Kate's Law in the Senate, a mandatory minimum of 5 years in prison for anyone apprehended with an illegal reentry. Does ICE support Kate's law?
I sure would like to look at that. I haven't had a chance to. I'm not sure when it was introduced, if it has been.
It was introduced last week.
Okay. I have not had a chance to look at it. I'm sorry, Senator. But I'm certainly willing to look at any proposal along those lines and consider it and work with you if I find some objection to it.
Ms. Saldana, I will note in your opening statement here, you said after listening to the victim's family that you were so sorry for their losses. And yet the Obama administration keeps doing it. When I asked you how many murderers were released yesterday, you don't know. There is a reason the American people are upset. If President Obama had the courage of his convictions, he would come and look in the eyes of these men and women who've lost their sons, their daughters, their mothers, their sisters, their brothers, and the administration would stop releasing murderers and rapists. It is within your power to follow federal law. And this administration refuses to do so, and that is altogether unacceptable. Thank you.